Man, I connected fast today. Well, this is Kurt Von Onen. I'm the host of the Mañana No Mas morning check-in, folks, and everything else online that's Mañana No Mas related. If you go to Google, for example, and you type in Mañana No Mas, you're going to see a solid 4 or 5 pages that come up with just tons and tons and tons of content and things that I hope would add value to you and your enterprise. So, I feel like I want to reach out just a little bit differently today. Inspirations come from messages that have come into me through some successes I've experienced in networking via LinkedIn. By the way, this will also be posted after the YouTube live to LinkedIn. Hint, hint, LinkedIn, you still haven't approved me to go live on LinkedIn yet. So I keep putting up these videos, and I hope that you see that I'm consistent enough to maybe give me a little leeway in there. But let's be a little more direct about what today's message is, and that is be part of the community, right? A community. Pick what communities you want to be involved in. Right now, I'm connected to a few of them, and I get invited to participate in many, many, many more. Right. And let's be real, I can't connect to all the communities, right? I can't just say, oh, well, I'm going to be part of this speaker group. I'm going to be part of this IT group. I'm going to be part of this WordPress group. I'm going to be part of this learning management system group. I'm going to be part of this power sports group. I'm going to be part of this marketing group. In the grand scheme of things, as an entrepreneur, I want to be involved in all of these things, but I also know it's important to be involved, to be connected, to find ways to connect to other people of value, and hopefully, garner some wisdom from them, but add some wisdom to the conversation as well. So at the risk of the camera going a little bit wonky, I am going to put a couple of calls to action on the board behind me. Okay. So what I'm talking about, folks, is connection. Okay. I'm not going to tell you how. I'm going to give you some ideas how, but I'm not going to make this like a mandatory, you must do kind of thing. Okay. But here's where I'm at. There's tons of people that see these messages. There's people I don't even see come up in the algorithms. I don't know if you're looking at this in an incognito window, or if it's linked to someone else's website, if it's getting duplicated somewhere. I don't know. Okay. Here's the deal. I go out and I consult with a dealer out of state, and I go in and I meet what I think is a stranger. And he goes, man, I feel like we already know, pardon me. Man, I feel like we already know each other. I've been listening to the Mañana No Mas podcast for years. Right. And I'm like, wow. Okay. Well, hey, this conversation just got easier. Right. And so he already knows my cadence, my delivery of speech, my methodologies on a lot of things, because if he's really paid attention, he kind of knows what this meeting is going to be about, right? I've had people that have responded to, my YouTube videos, right? And wow, I love your messaging, and this really hits home. I got one today saying, that life changed, right, after participating online, not because Kurt's wonderful, but because they participate. Are you paying attention? Participated online. If you're one of these outliers, if you're someone that's kind of spying on things from the outside looking in, I want to encourage you to connect. Now, here's the freedom of it. You pick how you want to do it, right? You can actually subscribe, right, and get notification. Woohoo. On the YouTube, right? So YouTube, okay, boom. But there's also the Mañana No Mas website. Folks, if you want to go and jump into the Mañana No Mas environment, I encourage you to do so. We have on the Mañana No Mas website, you can hit the contact link at the top, send me a quick message. Just let me know that you're chiming in, what your thoughts are. maybe some content that you'd like to be interested in seeing or sharing, right? If you want to be a contributor to the Mañana No Mas, I've had partner blogs on before. So we can do partner blogging, we can do podcast exchanges, we can do all kinds of cool things. I'm also going to encourage people, and this is kind of a call to action, right? When you are in the Mañana No Mas website, I want you to go ahead and click on the Academy link at the top of the page. Here's why. You're going to get up there and it's going to say, membership, courses, bam, 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 right? Because when you go to Academy, it goes to a whole new website, and that's where the Academy is for Mañana No Mas. And I want you to click on courses. Pick one that's free. I'm not asking for your money. I just want you to be a participant in our community, right? So pick one that's free, join, right? As a member of the Academy, you'll get access to what they call social learning, right? It gives you the ability to have a profile within that page. And then as this community grows and as more people begin to share the community and bring people into it, there'll be the opportunity to be able to interact with other like-minded people in a safer environment than, say, the trolls that you find on Twitter or Facebook. I don't know how you feel about things. And this is not a political rant. This is just fact. I mean, for me, right? Fact or feeling. Fact or feeling. Fact or feeling. Figure that one out. I go on Twitter now, and even if it's something I'm interested in that seems benign, I pull it up, and then just the comment thread underneath it is hate and division and trolls going after each other. And it could be the simplest of posts. It doesn't even have to be something incendiary, right? So big words today. And so having these private communities where people can join, and is there a chance that a troll is going to get in and ruin things? Yeah, there's the chance, but here's the other chance. It's moderated, right? So someone comes in and acts like a jerk, and we toss them out. Is that censorship? Maybe it is, but I want people to be able to join the community, participate in the community, be able to message people within the community, and I want the community to be able to grow. Mañana No Mas is expanding. I don't know if you've been paying close attention to this over the last 2 years or not, but Mañana No Mas is expanding. I'm hiring people to help promote the projects that we run, right? So I've got the Challenge Connection, which helps people with their online challenges, helps people to organize things and take things off of Facebook and put it in a safer environment so that they can access things and keep them organized and interact with their users directly through their own site rather than having to use the Facebook interface. You can still use Facebook for the marketing and maybe put the popular posts up, or maybe the leaderboard of who's winning the contest or whatever it is in your challenge. You can share that on Facebook, but the challenge itself is hosted off of Facebook. So you have more control of it, right? So we've got that one. The other thing is the Power Sport Academy. I am passionate about anything on 2 wheels, right? Or anything with a motor. Like I say, I'm not a car guy, right? But then I find myself having a conversation with our neighbor about how fast their Infinity is last night. And we start talking about Porsches and Lamborghinis and all kinds of cool stuff, right? Talk even about my Mazda, the GTI, whatever, right? And so my passion for that has bled over into this Power Sports Academy website. And that Academy website is a dealer-driven training site that shows service departments at dealerships how to raise their parts and labor sales while improving customer relationships and reducing employee turnover, right? So I want to say that again so it's more clear, right? It is a dealership-focused training program. It's not a seminar, it's a program. It lasts for a year at a time, right? So it's a dealership-focused training program that shows service departments how to increase sales, parts and labor sales, while increasing customer relating employee turnover. It works over and over and over again. We've had dealers come in, we've trained them, it works. So I'm super, super passionate about that. So in those terms, Mañana No Mas is expanding. Mañana No Mas is also expanding in terms of influence. Remember I mentioned before I'm part of these different groups. Well, I've got a marketing group that I deal with. I've got a speaking group that I deal with. I've got, obviously these power sports groups that I'm dealing with. And as these entrepreneur-minded people are beginning to interact more and more online, we're finding that it's beginning to pull people in, right? I'm doing a lot with Lifter LMS and some different WordPress plugin providers, right? And so I've got a CRM tool that I'm really, really fond of. I've got this learning management system tool that I'm really, really fond of. I've got, a list building tool. I've got sales funnels. I've got all of these things that I'm working with in the web environment that has allowed me to become an expert in this area. And again, has allowed me to filter out past my power sports constraints to feel this expansion where more and more people are coming to the table. Now, another call to action as far as participating and feeling part of the community, right? Because I'm talking about connection, community, right? And interacting within the Mañana no Mas kind of framework. And it's not necessarily to sell you stuff. It's to give you access to my contacts, my list, my network. And as you become part of that network, you also get the benefit of those connections, right? So instead of hiding in the shadows and not commenting or not participating or not answering emails, I'm begging you to jump in and become part of the community and really begin to enjoy what there is to enjoy about being together. When I connect to new people on LinkedIn, I offer each new connection basically a 15-minute phone call just to get to know them better, not to sell them something, to get to know them better, right? So that way, when I have another meeting 2 weeks from now, and someone says, "Hey, I'm really looking for someone to help me with some print advertising." Well, I don't do print advertising, but I had a meeting 2 weeks ago with a guy that does, and he seems like a really sharp dude. Let me connect you to. Right? And so that's part of the power of what being part of the community provides. Now, here's something that Mañana no Mas started at the beginning of the COVID crisis, and that was Zoom Night Out. Zoom Night Out is another one of my little pet projects, right? It seems like there's a lot going on. It's not. It all works together. Zoom Night Out is one of my pet projects where I invite all walks of life to come into a scheduled Zoom meeting that isn't about anything other than getting together, right? When I first started it, I kind of had concerns that lockdowns and social distancing and shutdowns and stuff like that. I was nervous. I was nervous for others. I'm married. I got 2 kids. I'm in a house. I'm in a community. And even with the lockdowns, there's still a little bit of socialization that happens, right? But I was worried for people that I knew that were single, that were living alone, that, if they didn't go to the office, what were they going to do, right? And I wanted them to have some kind of a social outlet. And so I said, hey, let's do Zoom Night Out. Zoom Night Out, bring an adult beverage, jump on at the scheduled time, spend an hour or 90 minutes meeting people, telling stories, laughing and joking. And folks, we've had people from the motorcycle industry, marketers, software engineers, people that work in advertising for major companies, have jumped in, not to sell the brand that they work for or to sell their software or to, talk about motorcycles necessarily, because sometimes we do. Sometimes we talk about mountain biking, but a lot of times we just exchange stories about, hey, remember the time we did blah, 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 right? And 6 other people get to listen to that and laugh and giggle and have a beverage and just enjoy the moment. And through enjoying that moment, we get that connection, that community, and there's no stress or pressure that someone's going to hit you up later and try and sell you a timeshare, right? Which to me is so important. When people connect with Kurt of Mañana no Mas, I want them to know who Kurt is, right? I want them to know what my skills are. I want them to know what I bring to the table. I want them to know what my expertise is, not because I'm actively selling them, but more so, I want to be part of their network. And I want to be that third-party referral in their network. Like I want to be the person, like when John Maxwell says, who do you know that I should know, right? I want to be that guy. I want to be that guy where someone says, man, I'm really struggling to find someone to build a website for my company. Ding, I know a guy. If Kurt can't do it, he can give you someone that can, right? My company's looking for someone to all of our employees are still working remote, and our company is looking for someone to work with our HR department to build an onboarding program. Ding, ding, ding. That is right up Mañana Nomás's alley. That's exactly what we do, right? And so when you meet with me, I'm not actively selling you on buying something from Mañana Nomás, but in your daily walk, when you come across opportunities that might fit me, I would love to be your referral, right? And I think that's what we can do for everybody, especially as this entrepreneur mindset and working remote and being able to make a living wherever you are takes a further, just a tighter grasp on where we're at. Folks, just today, I had spoken to people in India, I think France, Italy. Italy comes up a lot. Talked to a lot of people in Italy, Australia, Canada. It's a pretty strong day, right? Oh, the Netherlands. That's right. That one girl's from the Netherlands. And so we are able to do business and network and build. And I'm encouraging you to join this. Good. So we've got a Mañana Nomás page on Facebook. I'd love to have you in there if you're a Facebook kind of person. If you're a LinkedIn kind of person, guess what? We got a Mañana Nomás page in LinkedIn too. And I've got the Mañana Nomás website. We've got Mañana Nomás Twitter. Twitter scares the crud out of me. Lately, it's just been a cesspool of nonsense. But I'll tell you what, everything goes in waves, right? Maybe that nonsense will fade over time, and I'll be glad I kept the account going so that it can be active again in a productive way. But I hope that you're having a blessed day. I hope you're having an awesomely blessed day. And if you aren't actively looking to join my community and be part of what we're doing here at Mañana Nomás, maybe you're in the position to grow your own. Maybe you're in a position to take it more seriously when you've joined someone else's group. Maybe this is the inspiration message of, hey, I go to this meeting once a week on the Zoom call for some other organization. I don't really participate, but I've got value I can add, right? And that's where I think a lot of us get stonewalled. We're so worried about what people are going to think that we don't speak up. And here's the truth of it. The truth of it is you're probably more of an expert than you realize on whatever it is you're an expert in, right? So I have people that are coming to me with WordPress questions, with theme questions, with, plugin API integration questions. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I was like, well, I can kind of fumble my way through that and help you find an answer. But the more people that I've helped, right, the more people I've added value to, the easier those answers are to come by. And it's made me that much more of an expert in that field. So if I take my public speaking, my leadership training, my web knowledge, and my ability to build good training content, right, to be able to figure out the right architecture for training that builds retention, take all that and put that into a package, that's huge, right? But I can't just go around and knock on every door in the neighborhood and say, hi, do you want a package that does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? That doesn't make sense, right? But if you know someone that has a specific need and my skill set fits it and you refer me, a warm connection is priceless. And I think that's what we offer each other as we begin to come together. I think the more we go remote and the more it seems like we spread out, the more we can come together and help each other. And I'm encouraging you to join Mañana Nomás. These calls to action are for real, right? So if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe, hit the notification button. You can always cancel it later if it gets on your nerves, right? Go to Mañana Nomás. If you go to the Academy link, right on the homepage, you're going to see you have the opportunity to join the newsletter list. Now, up until this week, I was sending out a daily email every weekday, right? But I've taken that down to just a weekly email, right? So if you want to join the list and get a weekly email with some value-added content, you can do that. And then, of course, join the Academy. Jump in there, right? Take a free course if you want. I've got book reviews that I've done with John Maxwell material. There's one in there from Kevin Cope on seeing the bigger picture. There's paid courses. There's free courses. I've got stuff on key performance indicators, leadership, fitness. 5 days to healthy success was a challenge we had just run. I offered that for free to everybody that was in the network, right? So join. I've said it a bunch of times this call. bunch of times on this meeting, join and make yourself known, have a voice, bring participation to the party, add the value, right? And then you can be somebody that becomes, just like I've become the expert in someone else's group, you can become the expert in our group. This is expanding and it's exciting, but I want to make sure we do it right. I want to make sure that we become a group of professionals that is trustworthy, reliable, open, truthful, helpful. And we all, a rising tide rises all ships, right? And then we hear these kinds of cliches all the time, but I truly believe in them. I really think that the more we add value to others, the more wealth comes back to us in other ways. So that's it, folks. I'm going to go. Have yourselves a great day, and keep the inspiration coming. When people send back to me, it makes it easier to give back to everyone else. Bye-bye.